This is not a video game. Using a special 360-degree camera, parkour, martial arts, wire work, and a ton of visual effects, we are gonna bring Marvel's Spider-Man PS5 video game to life. Cut. You cut, right? How the heck are we gonna do this? So how are we gonna turn ourselves into a video game? Well, first, we gotta figure out how we're gonna film it, because I don't know if you know, but video games have a really unique camera perspective. Once we've got our camera figured out, then it's on to filming with 20 of my Hollywood performer friends, making sure that we're moving and portraying these superheroes well, because after all, this is Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen are absolutely iconic characters, and the way that they move is crucial to pulling off this concept. Then it's on to post-production, where we're doing all the voiceover, all the sound effects, all the visual effects, adding the buttons and the maps and the icons to make it look, sound, and feel like a video game. I think I've got a solution to our camera problem. We're experimenting with the Insta360 camera right now to see if it's viable for us to shoot on and create that video game perspective.
That's crazy,
cool, right? Cool, right? Maybe a little bit higher than that and a little bit further back. So I'd rather air being too far behind than too far on top of us. After doing some basic walking and running tests, we think we've discerned the perfect height and distance that the camera needs to be in order to create that perfect video game perspective. So that is a check right there. Off the bat, we're doing okay.
Nathan, you had great form.
Of course he does.
I've been working on my running.
Do you know who this guy is? This is the Nathan People. Now it's time to meet with some stunt friends and begin choreographing the action scene. We're coming up with moves and sequences that match these characters, but also stuff that will work well filmed on our 360 camera. Yo, this looks like a freaking game. Okay. Just something where it's like, if you imagine a square that you're in, like a video game square, you have to move to a different square.
Let me practice it.
This stuff is complicated. Like 360 cam, we literally see everything. And then Kyla's gonna be in a mask. What's cool about this is this idea has so much possibility, but it has so much possibility. Yeah. I don't know what's going on back there. This is great, this is great. Oh my God. That's not bad, that's not bad. We've already got some really promising footage. The video game perspective is absolutely coming through. So we've got the camera and choreography down, which means we're ready to tackle something that without all of this falls apart. And that's actually portraying these superheroes. It's very obvious that each one of these iconic superheroes all move and fight and run in a very specific and unique way. Like if you were looking at a bunch of different superhero silhouettes of them posing, you would almost definitely recognize them immediately. The physical movement of these characters is a huge part of who they are and why we love them so much. So if we're gonna pull this off, we need a movement and character master by our side. Now, I've made Spider-Man videos before, and I am a professional stuntman here in Hollywood, but there's someone who's gonna take this video to the next level. And it's Brett Metter. What's up, Brett?
What's up, Omar?
You guys may recognize Brett from the Star Wars video we did together, from the Jackie Chan reaction videos. I can't tell you how incredible I think you are and how talented I think you are, and like literally you just being a part of this project.
I'm turning bright red, lad. Stop it.
It's like you literally just being here transforms it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, man. No, I appreciate it. When you first told me, like, and you'll be my movement consultant, and I thought you were joking.
No.
And my history with Spider-Man, besides loving superheroes my whole life, I was obviously on Marvel Universe Live with you, but I joined 2 years earlier than you did, and I was cast as Spider-Man.
What you do better than I think anybody that I've ever met is you understand movement and physical characterization.
I'm gonna hit a pose, right? Comes in, hits his pose here. Maybe then he spreads out this way. It's ballistic and speed and agility and soft, like, absorption.
So what I'm noticing is these angles, like the bend that you like, the specifics of it. You have this like angle in your arm.
Like the spider's legs, right? They'll bend out and then they'll bend back down. You kind of like to form these sort of trapezoid shapes with yourself, right? That wide base, stay wide up here, like a nice point of a triangle. This is about as high as I would stand at all times. Right? This is where I'm standing. Because you can't be Captain America out there. Thor's gonna obviously stand big. Black Widow's gonna have her little freaking, her posture attitude. But Spider-Man is still like, this is comfy for him.
You moving like that, we can see the character immediately. Like you don't need the costume. So then when you get the costume, the character's already there, the costume just is the bonus on top.
Yeah.
Because the movement and the foundation is so rock solid. This is why Brett's here. This is why I'm so excited and so thankful that he's gonna make us look a lot better than we are. Okay, we are shooting in 2 days, and I am doing the costume test with the incredible stunt woman, Kyla Hymas.
The fact that she's not is honestly so upsetting. I hope to not debauch the coolness of Spider-Gwen. I can't do this zipper on my own. It feels great. Honestly, again, like I said, she has one of the best costumes.
And that's why she's Spider-Gwen, right there. With our preparation done, we're finally ready to begin filming and capturing our video game footage. We've got 3 days to film everything from the fight scenes to the stunts, the acting moments, and the parkour scenes. And of course, these are superheroes after all, so we're using wires to add a couple superhero moments. We're pulling people up into the air. Bruh. Pulling them backwards like they just got hit with webs, and using fishing line for some practical web effects. We have fishing wire that we're gonna rig onto 2 of the stunt guys' prop weapons. And so we're gonna have myself, Spider-Man, web them, and then I'm gonna fake pull them, and we're gonna have somebody behind the camera yank this fishing line, which is gonna create the web effect. Nice little superhero moment.
And how's that visibility in the mask?
It's okay. The whole time we're filming, we're working with Brett on our performances, making sure we were looking and moving like these characters.
You see this guy, and it's kind of just like yeah, give it that slinky, that elastic.
Sure.
Yeah. Boom.
I just gotta say, Brett, you are an absolute legend.
Can you see okay, Kyla?
Yeah. What's your idea of okay?
Scale of 1 to 10.
Come on, get it, shoot that, no.
5.5.
Oh wow, that's pretty bad.
Getting these moves and sequences down takes a lot of repetition to get it in your body, so I just keep running it over and over again until I don't have to think about it. Okay. Being a superhero is not easy. I'm just trying to, I know what I want it to look like and what I want it to feel like when I'm doing it. Because if you can't do it on your own, you definitely can't do it with people. Sorry. Cut! I have the words. Yeah! So it's just really running it, getting it in the body, so that when you put other great performers with it, it just heightens the performance. But it's gotta stand on its own. So what's making filming with this 360 camera different than usual is after every take, when we review a shot to see if it's good or not, usually you just hit play. But because this is a 360 camera that's filming everything, the initial image that it spits out is an incredibly wide and untracked shot. So to review it, we're going into the app and we're zooming into the appropriate angle that we want as our final image and setting keyframes as the shot moves forward to essentially tell the app at any given point in time exactly where we want the camera to be looking. Once we've done that for the whole shot, then we can actually play back the whole thing and see if we like it or not. So that's our process. We're filming a shot, and then Nathan keyframes it as fast as he can, then we actually review it, make changes, film again, set more keyframes, and we just keep doing this until we get a shot that we like. And some of these shots, we're doing upwards of 15 times in a row to make sure we've got the right timing and the camera position and the performances, but that's what's necessary in order to get the shot.
Dude, this literally looks like a freaking video game.
That doesn't make any sense.
So we've got the base layer of our video game footage, but we've encountered a problem. So unfortunately, the day that we filmed, if you look in the clouds, was really overcast, which means there wasn't a lot of sunlight. And small cameras, like an iPhone or the Insta360, which have these really small camera sensors, they need a lot of light to look good. And you can really see this if you look in the darker parts of the image, like by the concrete here or in some corners or things, you can really see how noisy and grainy it is. I've actually found out about a software called Topaz Video AI, and no, this video isn't sponsored by them, but they up-res footage, so I can essentially put in my noisy, grainy footage, and it will analyze it and essentially add more pixels and make it look very crisp and very clean, but the only thing is that it is a very intense process, especially on my little old MacBook. So I kind of just have to start the process and then check the results later.
2 days later.
Okay, after literal overnight, these are the results. This is insane. Look at the difference. Look at the left side. Look how pixelated and grainy and noisy it is, and look at the right. And now that I have these up-res clips, now I can send them over to our visual effects wizard for him to take it from here.
So for this project, we're gonna be adding lots of spiderwebs, boxes,
laser sights, bullet trails, and to do any of that, first we're going to need to motion track the scene. Normally, this would be pretty easy, but the thing that's going to make this a little bit more complicated is this 360 camera and more specifically, lens distortion. So, lens distortion. Let's talk about it and why it means we might have to do things a little bit different. So in the real world, real cameras have lens distortion, which causes lines to become more and more curved as they approach the edge of the frame. This means the computer can get confused if it's trying to motion track it because it thinks that the ground is curved or the walls are curved and it doesn't know what's going on. How can we fix that? Say I asked you to draw a square on a ball. Well, that wouldn't really work because the square is straight and the ball is round. But what we can do is we can take the ball, we can flatten it out like a tortilla, and then draw a square on top of it. Once we have that flattened tortilla square, we can repackage the ball into its original round form. This will give us a perfectly distorted square on the edge of the ball. This concept actually applies exactly to what we're trying to do for this video. We can take our super distorted fisheye footage, apply Red Giant's lens distortion matcher plugin, we'll draw lines in the shot that should be straight, then we can click undistort, and it will perfectly do all the math to give us a flattened shot. Once we have this, we can track the shot just like normal, and the real work begins.
While Alex is working on the visual effects, I'm recording the voiceover with all the performers in this to really fill out the sound and make this video game feel as immersive as possible.
Bringing a gun to a web fight? Not cool.
That's great. Cool. Nice. When we're recording, I always have a general idea of what I want, but I'm always making sure to capture different variations.
I'll be taking those. I'll be taking those. I'll be taking those.
That way, later, I can go into the editing software and pick the perfect line for each moment.
Now you're asking for it. Now you're asking for it. Now you're asking for it.
We're on the last shot. We're filming the intro right now, but we want it to be really, really fast and really dynamic. And so we actually cut out the eye holes so that I can see. Doing this super fast is gonna make it a great shot. So I'm doing, why are you sitting there like that? Literally broke the costume to get this last shot. So we're gonna get it right now. Let's go. Action. All right, so we've got the process down. From start to finish, I, in Los Angeles, go out with my incredible team of friends and get the shot. Then, I take that footage and put it through Topaz Video AI to up-res the footage and get high-resolution clips.
Omar then sends that footage over to me in Virginia, where I flatten the footage, 3D track it, and add any CG elements that we might want to add, like webs, boxes, bullet trails, etc.
From there, I stabilize the clips and add camera shake to any specific moments where we want a little of that extra oomph, you know?
Omar then sends it to me a second time, where I add any overlays, HUDs, maps, icons, etc.
Finally, I take that and I add the music, voiceover, sound effects, and color, and then we're done.
Simple, right?
All right, after 7 weeks of editing, it is finally done. And if I'm being honest, I think it's pretty cool. Check it out.
Hey, Spider-Man, get him!
I'm definitely getting Rage Monster vibes from this guy.
You really need to learn how to control your anger.
Now, I might be a little biased, but it's on YouTube. You can go watch it right now, because ultimately, what I think doesn't matter. It matters what you think. You get to decide for yourself whether or not we brought Marvel's Spider-Man PS5 video game to life. You can click the thing. You can just, the thing right there. You can